Hi everyone. Today I will give a brief introduction and tutorial on what is linear regression and how to use Python to use linear regression. So what is linear regression? Linear regression is used to explain the relationship and association between two or more variables. We can use linear regression to compute correlation coefficient R² to determine the strength of correlation. And the value of correlation coefficient is always range from -1 to 1. If the correlation coefficient is between -1 and 0, it means two variables are negatively correlated, which means when one variable increases, the other variable decreases. If correlation coefficient is between 0 and 1, it means two variables are positively correlated, which means when one variable increases, the other variable also increases. If correlation coefficient is equal to 0, that means there is no correlation between two variables and has no associations between two features. Okay, now let's get into the programming part. Okay, so first let's import some packages we're gonna use for building a linear regression model. The first package we're gonna import is linear regression, of course. So let's do from sklearn the linear model import linear regression. That's the first package we're gonna import, and then we're gonna import train test split from sklearn the model selection import train test split. In machine learning, when we build a model, we always want to split our data into training set and testing set. Training set is for model to learn and produce a function from the training data, and the model can use the function to predict the general data, which is the data that it has not been seen. So let's split the test data we have. Split the data we have to training data and testing data. So let's do X train, Y train. Actually, let's do X train, X test, Y train, Y test equal to train test split. Because here I want to discover the association between gender feature and housing prices. So one variable we're gonna include is male, female difference. And the other variable is owner average housing prices. And here we're gonna set our test data size to be 30%. Yes. And then we're gonna create a linear regression model by doing reg equal to linear regression. Here we're gonna do the training part, which is called feeding the model with the training data sets. We're gonna do reg.fit X train, Y train. Then we're gonna predict the output of X test. So we're gonna do predict part. Reg, actually we're gonna save the predict output to predicted variable. And we're gonna do reg the predict X test. And then here we're gonna compute the correlation coefficient value. So let's print the result as a string. Gonna do R² score is, I'm gonna use reg.score function to compute the correlation coefficient using X string and Y string here. And now we're gonna plot the regression line and create a scatter plot of the data set we have. Here we're gonna import a plotting package, which is called matplotlib.pyplot. because the name is pretty long, so we're gonna import this package as plt. Then we're gonna use plot x test y, actually predicted, predicted, to create a line plot of x test and the predicted output of x test of linear regression model. And we're gonna set the line color to be black, and also set the line width to be 3. Then we're gonna create a scatter plot using X train and Y train. To better interpret and analyze the graph we have, we're gonna label the X label and the Y label. We're gonna name the X label as difference in numbers of people between male and female. Also name the Y label as total housing price. Okay, that's all we have to do to create the model, linear regression model, and training the model and testing the model. And then we're gonna show the plot we create. Let me go back. Okay, as you can see here, the test. Okay, so as you can see here, the correlation coefficient here is very, very close to 0, which means there is not a huge or obvious correlation, positive correlation between gender feature and the pricing of San Diego. And this is the scatter plot of the data set we have, and this is the linear regression line. And you can see the slope of the linear regression line is pretty flat, and the slope is almost 0. So we can conclude in this graph, the gender feature and housing prices has no strong correlation. That's it. Thank you.